As a Jew in the world, how am I supposed to walk the street?
Hey everybody, New York Jew here, and today I'm gonna teach you how to walk the streets of New York. So what you gotta do, in case you forgot, you take your right leg and you walk forward like that, then you take your left leg and move like that.
We're Jews who support Palestine. Of course, I use Alhamdulillah, Inshallah, and Wallah.
Hey! Did you make the shawarma? It's delicious, man. Oh.
What if I threaten you guys? Just hear me out. I hope that you get cheated out of your overtime. How about that?
Maybe you could just try calling the guy.
Jacob Berger.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, man.
Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Of course, man. Thanks for all the letters asking to be on it.
Yeah, I know. You finally responded, man. You know, I had to make some calls.
Yeah.
So where are you from, man?
Born and raised here in New York City, from the Bronx, you know, and I lived out in LA for 4 years after I went viral with my comedy and moved back here in New York like 2 years ago. And I've been loving being back here in New York. You know, New York is such a big part of who we are, especially as performers and entertainers. I'm sure you can attest to the New York comics and stuff.
They're badass, man.
Yes,
they're scary.
Yes.
They're
scary, but
they
we're
bark.
funny, you know.
I stay out in California where it's safe.
Right. Well, that's debatable, you know. That's debatable. I would say the people, I remember, because like downtown LA is like a scary place. Like I grew up in New York around like, you know, homelessness, but down there, I remember last time I was in LA, there was a guy in the corner just swinging a knife, like, you know.
We had some gangsters out there.
Yeah, and when Sammy says he lives in LA, he means Glendale.
Right,
So.
of course. Yeah. And then I did a comedy rap video. Funny enough, it was called I'm a Jew. It was to Meek Mill's I'm a Boss in 2011. And it didn't go viral like I go viral now, but it did like a little bit. It was like posted about by like Barstool Sports and stuff. So I was like, okay, like maybe I got something here. So then I did a couple little TV gigs, one of those like reenactment shows, you know, like the murder porn kind of things where it's like, I was like a strip club DJ and I get seduced by this woman and I kill her husband, kind of like those reenactment shows on Discovery. So I was like, this is nice. And then basically I joined the industry and started working in major TV and film like within 3 years. And
yeah, because I've seen you on some, been on some like networks.
Yeah, I was most recently on The Idol. You know, I've been on Power. I've been on a lot. I have like over 20 some on, you know, major TV film credits. So that's primarily what is my primary focus. The social media thing came out of the blue. That was not an expected thing. Because hip hop's always been a big part of my life. And back when Trump won the presidency, I remember we were just all kind of just in shell shock as liberals. Like, we couldn't believe it that like this happened. And at the time, Bad and Bougie was like the hot song at the time. So I was like, let me do a Trump parody to Bad and Bougie. And maybe that'll put a smile on people's face, make me, you know, make him look like a buffoon as he is. And it went viral. And then from there, I just started making content. And then, you know, 7 years later of doing social media, it's like, been an incredible journey.
Yeah, man, you've been killing it on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah,
and
TikTok's become like the primary platform, so I've had to clean up some of my content a little bit. I can't be as racy as I once was on Instagram.
Are they I mean, because I get censored a bit on TikTok, but I don't know the extent of it.
Yeah, no, I can't post anything with like women on TikTok. Like
really?
Any like a hint of cleavage, like a whiff of booty, like
they take it down.
We'll get taken down and stuff. But now I'm in a place where I've had enough viral videos where I have a TikTok manager. It's like the total opposite of experience of Meta. Like I can actually call someone and be like, hey, this is going, like if there's an issue, like, oh yeah, we got that, don't worry, as opposed to Meta that's like give two shits about their creators.
What was your role on The Idol? Were you a strip club DJ?
No, I was security in the first episode. I had a nice scene with Eli Roth where he's coming in and we just have like a little funny little repartee back and forth because I was supposed to be in the season finale of Euphoria season 2. Sam Levinson had cast me in it, and long story short, the second day in of the shoot, they were running out of time, so they cut my scene, but so they ended up remembering me. But unfortunately, after October 7th, like Sam ended up becoming a crazy, super nut Zionist, so I had to unfriend him and block him because I was like, he was posting the most nuts, like, you know, just Hasbro type BS shit.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I see, you know, a lot of people from the industry, so you had like a thing with Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, funny enough, we used to be friends, me and Mike. Like, I always been compared to him. I kind of look like him a little bit, you know, we're the New York hip hop Jew kind of stuff. And it was funny when I went viral because through my friend Loopy, we ended up going. He was doing when he first started doing stand up probably 7 years ago, and then I got to meet him. And I've hung out with him multiple times. I met his wife, like you know, like I know him, like you know. And he's not all that boisterous kind of attitude filled guy. I don't know if you've had an experience with him in the room, but he's not at all like that. And so that's why when I saw the way he acted once October 7th happened and just doubled down on the hate and the Islamophobia and everything, I was just like, this is nuts. So it's very, the internet is having a good time.
You don't think that's really, you know, I mean, you think he's playing up that
I think it's
character.
more about ego than anything else because he's not He's like me. He's a cultural Jew. Like he doesn't go to temple. He's not kosher. He doesn't observe the Sabbath. Like most Jewish people in America are like Reform Jews. Like I say New York City Jews. So we like shiksas, which are non-Jewish women. Like good deals on things, like Seinfeld, like just when he's like Larry David S type Jew, like so that's why it's so disingenuous where he's suddenly become like found Judaism and all this stuff. Like it's just I think it's more about ego and they doubled down, like they made their beds and they gotta lay in it.
Was your family pretty like? Did they go to temple? Did they do Sabbath? Did they do kind of stuff?
No, I mean like most American Jews, I grew up going to Hebrew school from the age of preschool till I got my. Well, actually, I didn't have a bar mitzvah at first because I was like, didn't really believe in structured religion at 12. I was very ahead of my time and stuff like that. But funny enough, when I did the trip to Israel, Birthright Israel, like, you get so seduced and brainwashed that like at the end, after they take you to the Wailing Wall and Mossad and the Holocaust Museum, they're like, this is literally, I'm not even joking. It's like the last night, they're like, okay, so like, does anyone want to get bat mitzvah that didn't have one? I'm like, yes, please, I want one now, please. Like,
So you did Birthright.
Yeah, I did Birthright.
How old were you?
19 in college. Yeah,
and did they come like recruit you at the?
No, it was just Hillel. That's like one of like the big Jewish, like Reform Jewish organizations that's on every college campus. Like, it's pretty much like a given that like if you're a Jewish American, you're gonna go on Birthright Israel between the ages of 18 and 26. Like, it's just a standard. Like, what a free trip to Jews. We love free. Like, we're gonna save $1. So.
And so, what's your experience like? You went for like a week or what?
Yeah, you go for a week and stuff. They bring these hot Israeli soldiers on with you and stuff. Like, and they're all like into us because at that age they're all soldiers, so they're all have boring lives pretty much. So American men, like, we're very interesting to them. I didn't hook up with any, but they bring a couple girls and a couple guys for the Jewish, because at the end of the day, Birthright is all about making Jewish babies. It's all about like us finding our. It's a big Jewish singles night, basically, is what it is. But I remember going. I have a very fond memory of going because the first day you go to Jerusalem, and they were like, well, first of all, it was back when Young Jeezy was very popular, and I wore a Can't Ban the Snowman T-shirt at the Wailing Wall. I was pretty sure I'm probably the first human being to do that at the Wailing Wall, so I was proud of that. But they were like, guys, whatever you do, like, don't go into the Arab section. Like, stay in the zone. You know what I mean? Like, when you're in Jerusalem, but of course, and I'm a 19-year-old guy from New York. Well, you don't get not gonna tell me what the to do. I'm gonna go to the Arab section and see what's up. And lo and behold, I go to the Arab section. I'm like talking to some shop owners. I'm like, so what's the deal? Like, do you guys hate it? Like, they know, man, business is business. Like, you buy a shirt, like, and I look, and all the same. They had all the same knickknacks and shirts that the Israeli shops had, but it was half as much. I was like, ain't that like, ain't this the like, that's why they didn't want me. They want me to get have to pay the top dollar for this horrible stuff. But it's just there's a very active effort to make American Jews feel this allegiance to the state of Israel, and it's very insidious, especially because like me, my family is from Eastern Europe, Russia. Like, I know where my family came from. Like, it's crazy that there's people that look like me who think they're more Semitic than Palestinians. Like, that's just absolutely insane.
Right. So. Yeah. So when did you become a jihadi?
Allah Akbar. Yeah, I mean, so like I was saying, it's something that we always knew about, but I think October 7th it was a flashpoint where we're like, now we can't be on the fence anymore. Like, we have to, there's no more like kind of ignoring this and stuff like that. Because, it's always put us like, oh, Israel is the safest place for Jews. Like, how is this a safe place for us? Like, if like you literally took people's land. Like, I would argue that it makes us less safe and creates more anti-Semitism, that sort of attitude.
So you converted like October 7th.
Had my shahad?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say convert. I mean, I spoke out the very next day. I posted a story about it, and I was viciously attacked. I had people from high school reaching out to me. Like, fuck, terrorists, like, how dare you? Like,
I mean,
you said something about the occupation, right? You said
I said the very first day.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, I made a statement. It ended up going viral on TikTok and Instagram. I got like 1 million views. Like, just kind of explain the history of Palestine, Israel, about like, putting into context, like, because, like, Zionists would make you believe that, oh, they just hate us because we're Jews. Like, that's stupid. It's the same thing if it was the French that were in Palestine. They'd be fighting the French like what they did in Algiers or Tunisia. Like, it's not about religion. It's about land. It's about occupation. And
being that early is interesting to me because I remember when October 7th happened. The PR was definitely I was You know, I had a parachute and everything. No, we were doing a show with Sammy. It was a somber moment
here in New York City. Yeah,
yeah. We were in New York, so we
Yeah.
were just hiding out in tunnels.
It hadn't. It hadn't sunk in at that point. People
Right.
were not, because we didn't actually. I mean, we actually still don't know exactly what happened that day,
Right.
but like it didn't fully. The story didn't fully unfold until like the next few days.
Yeah.
And so everybody was just kind of like, what?
Yeah.
The
And and I do remember like when it happened, the public goodwill was towards the Jewish side because the media was like, like Palestinian terrorists parachuted into a music festival, took hostages, and killed civilians.
Right. Yeah.
So you speaking out that early pro-Palestinian, it's a gold star.
Well,
right?
I'm not here to get a pat on the back, but like I saw right away sort of what was happening, the narrative that they were starting to put and stuff like that, and the demonization of the Palestinians and the way they started bombing civilians right away. I just knew that like I needed to speak up. Like I could not remain silent. Like I was literally like laying in my bed, like I need to say something. I cannot be quiet because I'm a Jewish American with a huge platform, and like if at the end of the day, if anyone's going to change the way America deals with this whole thing, it's going to be the Jewish Americans that like put it at the forefront. Like it's on us, like to try and make something change. So, I this is bigger than me now at this point. Like, I have no ifs, ands, or buts about. Like, I understand what the danger I put myself in by doing this.
Do you feel like it's affected like acting opportunities?
No, funny enough, I've worked more in legit TV film this year than other years. So, not really. I mean, they've tried. They hit up my representation. My representation basically was just like they already follow me on social media.
Yeah,
they know what I'm about.
So your reps are cool with what you do.
Yeah, I mean, as long as all they care about is that my booking work. I had 2 auditions today. I did for major TV shows. Like, people know. I told I think it's going to become actually a positive that I'm someone who's outspoken. There's a lot of people in the industry that are, but 100%. There's a lot of people who are really scared. Because let's be honest, like that's why it's funny when they're like, oh, like look at you doing this for Hollywood. You're getting paid. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this for clout because everyone knows like it's the Palestinians that run the Hollywood industry in America. Like like. It's just so like they have no logic or thinking. It's just.
I was gonna say like your representation's pretty real for that. That's like a real like real like Jewish nuts and bones, right? It's like, hey, I don't care what you post as long as you bring the money.
Like I said, like that, they just said we're bringing this to your attention. We're not taking any action at this time. To me, that's basically the best I'm gonna get, and I'm happy with that. And I'm still getting auditions, so
That's
but
great.
that's the thing they do. They try and destroy you, and that's why they hate. That's why I 99% of the people online like that talk are cowards. They don't show their face. So I always tell them like your words mean nothing to me. Like you're a little demon, the way you say things and horrible things. You're scared. You don't want to show your face. That's why I go on TikTok. I love trolling these because I'll be like, why aren't you in the IDF? You're military age. Like I have a job. I'm in school. I have a disability. I'm like, yeah, you got a mental disability probably.
My back hurts. And I have glasses.
Yeah, so there's just certain things that I push on. Like that's why you can't have a good faith conversation with a Zionist because they're gonna gaslight you to hear them burnt up, and like they can't even. I've yet to meet one person like because I'd be on a lot of panels online where I'm like, can you admit I have like a few questions I ask people if they're trying to have a legit conversation with me, like a real debate, not just a personal attack. I'm like, can you admit at this point we're 9 months later and it's been well documented that the 40 beheaded babies things was a total fabrication lie? Most people refuse to admit that. How can I have a logical conversation with someone who still believes that atrocity propaganda, which is a big part of the justification of why they jumped in there and started slaughtering everyone? I remember when I was posting, my mom, she's like, I can't believe you posted that. They're cutting babies' heads off. I'm like, Mom, that's totally bullshit.
Yeah, that should be a conversation opener. Like, were 40 babies beheaded? If yes.
Yeah, well, that brings me to my next. I have like a couple of different like questions. It's just like yes or no questions because it's just we don't need to get into all of them. But that's just like because
such a round number too. It's like
like there's some OCD.
Yeah,
I had another woman say
40.
I had one Zion woman in a chat was like, oh well, it's just he saw kids beheaded. He misspoke. I'm like, no. Biden said he saw the photos. Like. Let's not rewrite history here. Yeah.
He said 40 babies with no heads. I couldn't sniff their hair.
Yeah.
I asked this to a lot of people because nobody has the answer, but like, what do you hope for? What do you think is the solution?
Right?
Yeah.
I know we talk so much about the conflict.
Like, what is the solution? Yeah.
I mean, I think at the very least, something that is obtainable and is actually doable is obviously America stop funding Israel.
Yeah,
that's something that is attainable.
Right.
I mean, obviously, there's so many hurdles, APAC, everything, but like something that we could do here in America.
Right.
The same way like we protested the Vietnam War and everything like that, like to stop the money flowing into all that. Right. That's the same thing that has to be done here. So if at the very least we do that, because I think if that happened, Israel would stop their aggression tomorrow. Like if they don't have the bombs and weapons and money, then they're not gonna, you know.
Right.
Because the reality is Israel's getting beat the up. It's like the Western media wants to portray like they're kicking it, but like I talked to a lot of sources on the ground in Lebanon and Gaza, like. They're underreporting like what's going on, like 110. I'm sure you hear the same thing.
Oh yeah, no, they're getting spanked by dudes in sandals.
You know, it's nuts. So that at the very least, and there has to be a one state. I don't think a 2-state solution is something that is very realistic. We need the thing is Israeli people, especially in America, like to say like, oh, it's Netanyahu, it's the government, it's not Israelis, and. I hate to break it to you, but Israeli culture is pretty racist and terrible, and they hate Arabs and they hate Muslims.
Yeah.
And so that brainwashing has to be undone too. Like, so I would want to see a world where obviously kick all those others out the West Bank. Like the fact that they just approved another 5,000 families to go there, insane. And that's what.
And then they wonder why.
Right, and that's and there's a lot going on in the West Bank that is not being reported on. Like that's. BB's next target.
If anything, it's really I mean, it's like everything else is like obviously is real and what's happening in Gaza, but it's like it's a big smokescreen.
Yeah, and West Bank. Yeah, so America stopped funding it, end the settlements in the West Bank. Obviously, right of return for all Palestinians. The fact that me, who have no connection to Israel, that I could go move to fucking Tel Aviv right now or the West Bank, kick a Palestinian out of his home, become a citizen of Israel, get free healthcare, free education. While millions of Palestinians across the world
you should do that and then give your home to a Palestinian family.
I'm in it for the long gag. I'm in it for the long. This is commitment. I'm very committed to my comedy.
Just went and got like land, a good plot of land, and then just gave it to a Palestinian family.
So to me, those are things that obviously there's a lot of red tape, but like those are things that like I feel like can be actually done. Where it's like because people always want to know like actual physical, like what is your plan?
Right.
I think those are things that can be done. Like many people can go to America, go to Europe, go wherever they want. Like, this idea that like we're not safe anywhere. Like I would argue Israel makes Jews across the world far less safe at this point. You know,
you mentioned a one-state solution. Like, what do you envision? Like those, because I know like a lot of people would like hear that in the comments and be like, oh, like they want to erase us. Like, what do you think?
No, like a actual thing where people are the actual promise of whatever Israel thinks that like they have, where it's like. Palestinians can move freely. They're not third-class citizens, like where they are representing the government. They're so disingenuous the way they're like, well, we have a big Arab-Israeli population. Like, yeah, that's Arab-Israeli, not Palestinians. Like, you know, there's difference. Like, they're very disingenuous the way they try and market it. Like
so they just live in harmony together.
Ideally, but the thing is, you know what it is? The Israelis, the Zionists, they hate Arabs. They hate Muslims. And honest, I feel more. Let me put it this way: I feel safer. I would feel safer standing in the middle of a Muslim city wearing a kippah on than I would being here on the Upper East Side wearing a kufi on. Because I've actually funny story. I'll tell you this story. I'm walking down the street with my kufi on. This is like near Columbus Circle right here, like South Central Park. Walking, mind my own business, not a rally or anything. I'm just walking down the street, mind my business. All of a sudden, there's a guy standing by his car, and he goes, hey, only wear that. I'm like, what'd you say to me? He's like, yeah, only wear that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Take my phone out and start recording the thing. And then he's like, I'm like, what did you say again? And basically made him go viral. And like his brother, he owns this financial company. His brother's the president. He's like, he's mentally ill. It's always mental illness when they get caught, you know, being racist. Right. But the reason I bring it up is because, you know, Jews, we always talk about, like, oh, it's not safe. Like, it's so ironic. It is so ironic. The first, as I'm talking with my camera, it is so ironic. The first time that I experienced a hate crime is because I'm wearing a kufiya. and not for being Jewish.
That's-
For like that is like, if that isn't the universe like telling me like what I'm doing is right, then I don't know what the fuck is. Like, you know,
when you get a hate crime, you know you're in the right place.
yeah. I was just so shocked, bro. I was because you know like I'm a white guy. What kind of like you know you cracker, like that's not gonna sting. Like but like I was like what. Oh,
Yeah.
Literally the fashion police, right? It's like for your fit.
The funny thing was he had no shirt on. He was wearing like leather pants, so like maybe he was mentally ill a little bit. You know, he's like flexing his muscles in the
Just
video
projecting.
and shit. Yeah. You know,
What do you think about these people who spread, and including the media, but like who perpetuate the narrative that these pro Palestine marches, these encampments, they're all anti-Semitic, and I mean, obviously, like we know what the truth is, but like as somebody who goes to them actively, like what do you tell people? What would you say to people?
I would say it's all sort of Western media. I mean, I feel more in touch with my Judaism in the last 9 months than I've probably ever felt in my life. You know, sort of, and having people interested in. Like I remember going to the encampments. I went to like the ones here at CCNY and NYU. And like it was during Passover, like we literally had Passover seders at the encampments, like that was crazy. Like that's why it's like so preposterous when they say like, oh, it's not safe for like literally half of the crowd is usually Jewish people like me, you know. But they hate us because we destroy their narrative of this is some anti-Semitic, you know. Anytime we're at a rally, the violence comes from the Zionists who come there to counter protest to try and get some us and the cops. It is not us looking for violence at any point. I'll shout a guy down. I love on them. Lord knows. But like, I'm not going to swing first. I'm not looking for violence. But they come to purposely try and antagonize us, to try and get a viral video, to try and farm clip us and stuff like that.
Right.
You know?
Speaking of viral videos, I know you're like in the space, so you've probably seen a lot of the content. And you're from New York. So I saw something on like a New York subway. You mentioned how typically at these rallies, it's counter protesters trying to antagonize and incite violence. I saw something on the subway system where there were Palestinian supporters and they were asking people on the trains like, "Oh, are there any Zionists?" No,
that was my boy. I was on that train car. No, because we were doing a rally at Union Square, and the cops were basically ready. They thought we were gonna march like down south, like from there, and they didn't. We all rushed the train that day. Like so, what you don't see from before that is a rush of 1,000 people. The cops literally punching us like because there were people hopping over the turnstile. They're trying to arrest people, opening the emergency exit. It was pandemonium and stuff. And we finally got on, and we were just like, we were sitting in the station for probably 20, 30 minutes. And that guy, he's part of, he was just like saying, like, he was joking, like, hey, you got any signs you want to get out? Like, we're not doing anything. Like, it's just, but yeah, we're like, Israel, Zionism, like, it's just letting it be known, like, and
yeah, but you can see how people would consider that like not helpful to the cause, right?
Honestly, fuck their feelings. That's how I say it. Like, it was a moment in time. They made even like a wanted. Like, what did he do? He didn't do any crime. Like, I'm pretty sure there's nothing there. It's like menacing in the 3rd degree or something. Like, I literally have people come up to me, Zionists, and be like, I hope your family gets killed. Like,
wow,
that's
really?
real. That's real threats. Not some Zion. That's why it's such bull. They literally. Last rally I was at, there's a lady holding a Palestinian flag. It said us on it. Someone was wearing had a kufiya, was written in blood, like Palestinians are racist, stuff like that.
Wow,
like, that's the real vitriol shit. Not someone being like, if you're a Zionist, get off the train, like get the, So that's why, like,
Yeah, no, I'm just curious. Just like.
No, that was all blown out of proportion. Like I just told you, I was literally on that train car. Like,
Yeah. Oh, that's actually it's kind of funny. You were like, I thought you were joking.
No, we were laughing when I saw them put up like the Zio influencers put his picture up. I started cracking up. I was sending them like, bro, you see this? Like,
But that kind of gets into my next question, where it's like, do you feel like there's any like the train incident? I saw on the internet, like a lot of like hate towards like like the cause, because it's not necessarily the most productive message like out to the world, and it can get blown out of proportion and things like that. So do you feel like like the
look, we're here to cause disruption, we're here to shake things up, we're not here to get permits. That organization I marched with, there's an organization like Answer Coalition who I've worked marching with for 20 years. They get permits, they get because we'll get arrested if we use a speaker. If you don't have a permit, they'll come. Right. So that's why at our rallies you'll see the speaker be like say it, and then the crowd like says back what she just said, so it amplifies it. So basically, we're there to create disruption. Like how do you think revolution happens? How things change? Like, you know, you can't just like protest isn't supposed to be convenient. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to create havoc. You know, it's supposed to create conversation. Like, I look at what people went through during the civil rights movement, like, you know, with water hose and dogs after them and getting killed. Like, you know, we're in the early stages of that. Like, this is the first year of something that's going to take decades. Like, this is a long battle. This is not happening overnight. Like, this is, you know, look at Vietnam. It took 10 years. Civil rights took decades. Like, so we're at the forefront of that. And you're going to see more and more disruption. I mean, you look at some activists that went to weapons plants and caused damage there to try and stop bombs being sent and stuff like that. The fact of the matter is there has to be radical action, and it's not. And the fact that Biden and all these people just continue to send bombs, like, you know, it's just the world's at a boiling point. You know, it's like, how much more can we take? You know,
right? So, to answer your question, not enough disrupt.
Yeah.
No, and that's fair.
Right.
And I'm just trying to like ask you like popular counterpoints, just so like you can like, you know, educate.
Yeah,
now,
no, for sure.
You earlier said like, oh, you know, you said I don't deal with Zionists or like waste my time or like, you know, talk to Zionists.
Productive.
But let's say you were, you know, you have your one last ditch chance to like reach them, or somebody who's like a soft Zionist or on the fence. What's your message to those people?
I mean, it's hard because they lack empathy and humanity. So it's like, I can't really like.
What if they got a shred? What if they got a little shred?
I mean, I just
humanity?
say, put yourself in their shoes. What would you do if a foreign entity came into your land, took more than half, you know, 80% of it at this point?
Yeah.
Killed members of your family, didn't allow you to collect rainwater. It's illegal for Palestinians to collect rainwater, dig wells, a million other things. What would you do? That would be my question. What would you do if Israel killed your child? What would you do? And it would be so disingenuous to like, oh well, I'd write my congressman. Like, no, let's be for real. You know, Americans, right, where they red blooded America, they love talking about, yeah, like, don't tread on me, 1776, like, you know, America, revolution. Like these Zionists would be like, if it was the Boston Tea Party, be like, oh, they shouldn't have thrown, oh, they destroyed the tea. Oh my God, like, it's so bad.
They should have went to the town halls.
Yeah, they should have went to the town halls. There's a better way to handle this.
They
like,
had a chance to accept
like, that's
the
what I'm
tea
saying.
tax.
Like, the people the same people who preach like American for like are the same ones that would tell you, oh, Palestinians don't have a right to resist, even though Geneva Convention very plainly states that they have a right to resist. You know, so that's really my thing: is try to put yourself in their shoes. And realize that this is not about religion. This is not about Muslims. This is not about Judaism. This is about land. This is about there. Muslims do not hate Jewish people. Like, Jews are very much revered. Muslims literally protected Jewish people during the Crusades and during the Ottoman Empire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people don't know that. Like, so I think we have to do a lot of deprogramming and de-brainwashing of Americans to realize. And I think we need to have more. You know, I'm trying to build these bridges and normalize, you know, sort of Muslim culture, and you know, and if I can do that through content and stuff like that, to sort of make it see that we have way more in common than we do different, then I'm pretty happy about that. And I want to keep.
Man, I love it.
Probably good. I feel this was like a cathartic moment because I had Sammy. I was like, I need to get on a podcast.
No, of course,
talk
because
shit,
you are. I mean, obviously you act and you've done all sorts of, but you're a short form guy. Mm-hmm. Like you slay short form on a daily. And I know you. So I know you don't do a lot of. I know you've done long form stuff, but I know you don't do a lot of long form.
Right.
So a podcast technically kind of being a long form.
Right.
The whole time I've just been like, what's going to be a good clip from this? You know, and I see it. You speak. You're very good at. You make points and sound bites, so it's like, man. I mean, I see
all clocked under 1 minute.
Yeah,
we got 10
of course.
pieces
I know.
of content. This guy's efficient. Right
you know. I
here.
mean, George Soros has been paying me and training me well. You know, so I gotta have my points in there.
Money works.
You know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for having me on, guys.
Of course, bro.
And you guys can catch me. I'm gonna be on American Sports Story, the new Ryan Murphy series. Like, I'm working on an episode of that. Also, check me out on the new Saturday Night Live movie coming out at the end of the year, and a film called Dr. Doctor that I'm starring with Stephen He. And am I missing anything else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And follow me on all my social media channels. Jacob Berger Actor. That's Berger with an E, not a U. No, Jew spells with a U.
Before we actually send you off, do you want to sign us off with like 16 bars or something?
16 bars? Do we have any music? All right, now let's do a cappella. That's true. Okay. All right. All right, check it. Hey, yo, 1, 2, 3. You talking to the JACOB. You know I'm on the podcast getting it ripping. Man, you know I'm sitting up. Yeah, something be different. Yeah, me and Sammy. Yeah, we get it cracking. Free Palestine. I'ma show you what happened. From the river to the sea. That's a fact. Cause you know the white boy Jew bring it back. How I just do. Man, we stacking in the building. Man, I can't stop. Man, stop in the killing. We gotta do it, man. Bring it on back. How we just put it on the track. Yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you so much.
Off the dome. Easy, Bob. Easy, Bob.
Coronavirus is making me racist. I don't like it. I don't want to be a racist person, but the survival instinct in me. I boarded a plane last week, and I had to choose my seats because I fly Southwest. And I only have 2 middle seats to choose from in the back of the plane. I'm in the C boarding group, which, if you know, that means I like to sleep in. I look to my right. There's 2 very large gentlemen. Normally, I would avoid that middle seat like the plague. However, I look to my left, and I see a woman who's presumably from China. I honestly don't know, and I'm not going to ask her, because that's even more racist. Are you Chinese? Have you been to Wuhan? Like, I'm not going to ask her these questions. Is that a Mandarin dialect? Is that Cantonese? Like, I'm not going to ask her, but it's like survival racism. I'm trying to, so I'm, looking for a minute, and I'm like, no, I'm going to go sit between these 2 Latino gentlemen and make myself a torta. I'm just going to go fit myself in this torta. And I felt bad because I was deliberating for a full minute, and she saw me. And she looked at me with those eyes seriously, you avoided me on this plane because of my race? And I just looked right back at her. I was like, welcome to the club. Allahu Akbar.
I be feeling like the man when I walk.
There's a serious thing going on in this country where there's people in this country who are pro-immigration, there's people who are against it. And especially here in California, we live so close to the border, and all sorts of people have opinions on the border wall. And I am going to talk about it for a brief moment. I asked all my Mexican-American friends, I said, what do you think about the border wall? I was actually very surprised. I collected data on this. A lot of my Mexican-American friends are for the wall. A lot are against it, and a lot are actually on the fence right now. I'm sorry. Is that offensive? Or just borderline? You tell me. I miss the 90s. You guys remember the 90s, man? What a great era. Everybody agrees. It was just the mid-90s especially, right when the internet was just coming out, but it hadn't ruined our lives yet. The economy was booming, grunge was raging, Tupac and Biggie were still alive, Bill Clinton was in office, just getting sucked. What better metaphor for the good life than our commander-in-chief getting O's in the OO? He's getting orgasms in the Oval Office. That's a 000 score on Sonic the Hedgehog. But the 90s were amazing. But there was something really critical about that era, and a lot of jokes have been made about the Monica Lewinsky scandal, but nobody's ever pointed out the most flagrant detail. I'm going to share with you all right now. That is the timeline, okay? See, Bill Clinton was getting his dick sucked by Monica Lewinsky from November 1995 to March 1997. Okay, not the whole time. He went home in between, took a break, made sandwiches, regenerated. He's not Superman. Repeat those dates again. November 1995 to March 1997. Do those dates sound shockingly familiar to you? They should, because that is the exact, to a T, exact same time frame as the East Coast, West Coast, Tupac, Biggie, Smalls rivalries. That's usually where I walk off stage and just leave forever. But I'll elaborate. November 1995, the shots were first fired. Tupac starts speaking out against Biggie. The war is waged. All right, everything comes to a climax in '96, right before the election, when Tupac dies. Finally, everything comes laid to rest when Biggie Smalls dies in March 1997. That whole exact time, Bill Clinton was in the Oval Office getting his sucked. Or so he wants you to think. I sometimes leave there as well. Well, go ahead and I'll explain. He created the perfect alibi, okay? How could two seemingly unrelated events share the exact same timeline? The biggest sex scandal in our history and America's second civil war? I don't think so. No. He had the motive. They were stealing his spotlight right before the election. He had the support. Who is his support? Suge Knight. Why is Suge in jail right now? Because there's another Clinton election going on. They can't have the secrets being leaked. That's what's in the emails. That's what's in the emails. Al Gore knew about the whole damn thing. That's why he created global warming. It was a distraction to keep people's minds away. Monica Lewinsky is not a real person. That's Tipper Gore in a wig. Get your head in the game. That could have never happened. Case in point, how did Hillary forgive Bill? She's a Scorpio. They never forget. And if you don't know, now you know.
I got 5 holiday stats for that holiday ass. First up, 90% of Americans celebrate Christmas, which means you have at most a 10% chance of offending somebody by saying, Merry Christmas. On the flip side, a recent study approximates that 80% of Americans think political correctness is a problem, which would suggest you have at least an 80% chance of pissing someone off by saying, Happy Holidays. And if you say nothing, you offend the 50% who are extroverts. So statistically, your best bet is Happy Kwanzaa. Unless you're saying it to an African American, that might come off as racist. Also, if you're gonna say it to an actual racist, that won't go well either. Unless that racist likes irony, in which case, they'll get it. Actually, just stay inside. It's what Jesus should have done. Worst case, 80% get offended at Happy Holidays, 10% get offended at Merry Christmas, and the other 10% just loves being politically correct, which means 100% of Americans have a candy cane up there. And second, the average American gains 1.3 pounds over the holidays, the weight of a newborn baby's head, body not included. To gain a pound, you have to eat 3,500 calories. Times 1.3, that's 4,550 calories, meaning you can eat 1 slice of pie for every time your parents ask you when you're gonna get married to your cousin. Not by blood, by marriage. She's hot. Or spread out over the holiday month, that's an extra 150 calories a day, which is equivalent to 2 candy canes. Suck them. 3, the average American spends about $900 on holiday gifts. So if you spend any less than $900, you're basic. Any more than 900, you're extra. This average is way too high. Thanks, Oprah. So I'm doing my part to lower the average by giving out copies of my sitcom pilot. Read it, it's good. 4, studies show that about 85% of 4-year-olds believe that Santa Claus is real, and about 65% of 6-year-olds and 25% of 8-year-olds, which means 100% of kids are stupid. The average kid learns the truth at 7, so 7 is a great age to steal a child. 7 is a great age to steal a child's innocence. 7's a great age. Don't let your kid believe in Santa past 8. You're creating a future mall Santa. 5, 75% of American households get a Christmas tree, 80% of which are fake, like my Hinge matches. About 30 million trees will be chopped and sold this year. And since a human carbon footprint is balanced by the oxygen of 20 trees, this means Christmas tree sales have about the same environmental impact as giving birth to 1.5 million heavy-breathing babies. Of course, no judgment. I'm just saying if you don't have kids, feel free to chop down a tree. You earned it. And if you do have kids, you now have a good excuse when they ask you why you got a fake-ass tree. And if your kids are under 7, just tell them it's a real tree. 50% chance they believe it. If you celebrate Christmas, Happy Holidays. If you don't, Merry Christmas. And to the rest, Happy Kwanzaa. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go spread some HPV. Holiday puppet ventriloquism. What'd you think?
Go viral. This story takes place when I was in 8th grade in Baltimore, Maryland. I was happily accepted into the all-state chorus, where myself and 120 of the Maryland's finest young singers would present our talents for all of the state to see. And I told my parents at the time I did not want my sister's boyfriend at the recital because I was 13, hated him, I was just an angry little boy, and they told me I had no control over that. What was I gonna do? And I told them if he shows up, I won't sing. And sure enough, they called my bluff. When I walked out to that stage that night, I looked into the audience, filled with people, saw my mom, saw my stepdad, saw my sister, and then saw her boyfriend. And that was the moment I knew I had to put my money where my mouth was. So as the choir director opened his arms, as everyone else started to sing, I closed my mouth and stood there smiling as large and evilly as I possibly could, staring directly into the face of my fuming parents, catching the daggers shooting out of their eyes directly back at me. And for 5 whole songs that we had rehearsed to a T for an entire week to perfection, I stood there and did not sing a single word. Because my parents didn't believe that I would do that. And I had to prove to them that they couldn't ever tell me what I was going to or not going to do. And that was proof. Don't fuck with me.
Don't do it.
Don't.
Hey, this is Sammy Obeid, and welcome to Figure Blast, the show that Spencer on YouTube says sucks complete ass. Yes, complete. Meaning when we start a job, we get it done. Ain't no half-ass sucking around here, Spencer. The Fountain of Youth. Does it exist outside of CGI? Our society is obsessed with looking younger, feeling younger. Basically, everyone wants to be a full-blown 5-year-old. Kind of like Spencer. Should I do Botox, eat kale, or just feel good about how I look now by using the Old Face app? Well, there's one thing you haven't done yet, and that's the f***ing math. Fact. Human adults are anywhere from 55 to 70% water, averaging close to 60%. But as you get older, your body water declines to 40 to 50%. That's why older people look like they went through a dehydration process. And then babies are like 80% water, like little water balloons. You just throw them. That's why they're always sniffling and slobbering. Little water machines, these babies. And then of course, before that, we come from pure fluids, if you know what I mean. So really, aging is just drying. And drying is dying. So the secret to staying young is simple. Just drink more water and hold your pee. Drink more water, hold your pee. Drink more water, hold your pee. Isn't that crazy? The fountain of youth is just the fountain. Drink more water, hold your pee. You ever notice as you get older, you get up in the middle of the night to go pee more? That's your bladder trying to f***ing kill you. Stop it. Kegel. Drink more water, hold your pee. Kegel. Drink more water, hold your pee. Kegel. 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 Do you sweat a lot? Stop it. That's not good. Fact. The average adult loses 3 liters of water a day. But how much water do they tell us to drink a day? Only 2 liters. Well, that's strange. Where's that extra liter? Why are they cheating us out of a liter? I'll tell you why. It's because the government wants you to die early so they can collect that Social Security. Yeah, the government's corrupt, the Illuminati's real, Sammy, and 9/11 was an inside job. And Tupac is dead.
He is dead.
Is this making you sad? Don't cry, that's gonna make it worse. Do you like to have sex? Sex, you're losing fluids in all directions. You can wear 10 condoms, but if you aren't chugging water, that sex ain't safe. The worst STD? Sexually transmitted dehydration. That's why it's called being thirsty. According to the World Health Organization, the average male ejaculate is 3.7 milliliters, just shy of a teaspoon. Let's call it a low teaspoon. But the average adult male only has 53 liters of water, so if you do the math, JK, I did it for you, that's about 14,000 loads until you die. So if you once a day, that's 39 years until you're dead. One study estimates that the average male ejaculates 4.2 times a week, which gives you 65 years of pleasure. So if you start getting busy at the normal age of 13, that puts you to death at 78, which is life expectancy, so the theory checks out. I started at 12. Every ejaculation brings you closer to the finish line. That's why when you say, "I'm coming," you're talking to death. Meanwhile, the average female ejaculate is 2 fluid ounces. Way more, but still allowed by TSA. But the average woman has only 42 liters, meaning only about 700 big O's until you gots to goes. So if someone can't make you come, they're actually sparing you. You're welcome, Sarah. You thought the gender pay gap was bad? Pfft, look at the O gap. I know this isn't fair, but if you drink water, you can come as many times as you want, because water promotes equality. It's gender fluid. Drink 3 liters a day.
Except you, Spencer.
I gotta pee.
Wow, that was a good piss. Well, now I'm thirsty. Hey, I got 3 left.
Oh, yeah? I got 699, jackass.
Hey, I'm Sammy Obeid, and this is Figure Blast, the show with no political agenda, just numbers and fun. Now, if you're a hard-working American, like myself, and you pay all of your taxes like my accountant Jeff, you've probably asked yourself this very simple question. How long do I need to live in order to break even on my Social Security payments so that I can know when to die and not lose money off the American government? Yeah? Never asked it? Okay, for those of you still living in the Great Depression, Social Security is a loan to your future self, where Uncle Sam holds the money just in case you die, in which case he keeps it and spends it on roads, postal workers, and wars. Super casual. So if you know your yearly income and your retirement age, you can calculate this on your own, but why would you do that when you have me? So the average American works about 40 years in their life. Ugh, can you imagine? And pays about $3,000 a year in Social Security taxes. Yikes. Which over your lifetime is $120,000. The price of 7 used Honda Civics, or a house in Little Rock, Arkansas. Or 7 houses if you live in a Honda Civic, like I do, temporarily. It's LX, thanks Dad. Currently, the median age of retirement is 62, which is also my upper limit on Bumble. And the average Social Security benefit pays $1,461 a month, which is about $17.5K a year, a salaried El Pollo Loco, which if you've never been, it's like Los Pollos Hermanos, but with more drugs. So how many years of making $17.5K will add up to your $120K? Or basically, how many years do you have to work at El Pollo Loco to afford 7 used Honda Civics? Which is the world's saddest word problem. Is everyone still following? Or is this show too divisive? About 7 years is what it takes to break even on Social Security paychecks. So if you retire at 62, the magic age you have to live to is... 69 is the magic age, because once you've pleased the government pleases you. You can go ahead and buy the bumper sticker on my website. I live to 69. What? I'm promoting longevity. 69 is the year you break even, so you're still mildly in the red. You're in the pink. What? The show's called Figure Blast. Now, of course, if you live longer, you're making money. In fact, life expectancy in America is 78. Considering our obesity rates, let's go ahead and pat ourselves on the back fat. Breaking news, the average American collects Social Security checks for a sweet 16 years. It's like a second job where quitting is dying. At 17.5K a year, that's $280K. The price of 16.5 Honda Civics. Still used, don't get greedy. But since you spent $120K on the tax payments, your actual profit is $160,000, which you just made off the US government, you filthy leech. This is why people come to America. You get paid $160,000 just for being average. That's one expensive participation award. And for the record, I'm above average. Now, I know some of you data trolls out there are gonna be like, actually, retirement age is increasing, Social Security payments are going up, you didn't factor in the time value of money, who even knows what's gonna happen in this economy? To which I say, calm down. My calculations are an extrapolation of current data, nerd. If you want to solve for future amounts using different variables, go ahead and do it as a homework problem. Bet you won't, you lazy sack. Share this video and I'll make my point clear. According to the most current of data, you most likely have $160,000 waiting for you just for being you. If that doesn't make you smile, it's because you probably don't have teeth. $160,000, which you can use to finally pay off that college debt. You feel that? You just got figure blasted. Can you grab that? I borrowed that from someone.
Where is it? I said, where the is my money, Sam?
Oh, there it is.
My parents don't have accents. which really sucks for comedy because accents are comedy gold, you know? Ethnic parents with no accent is like a diversity training video. It's boring. If I were to put my mom in a joke, I'm like, hey, Mom. She's like, hey, Sam. I'm like, get out of here. This is embarrassing me. Even worse, they support my comedy career. How disgusting is that? I'm like, hey, Dad, you want me to be a doctor, right? He's like, no, Sam, this is America. You can do whatever you want. Damn it, Dad! Where's my struggle? Hey, Grandma. Hello, Sammy. That's what I'm talking about, Grandma. Yes! Wait, say Trader Joe's. Trader Joe. Oh, beautiful. That's going in a joke. That's how she says it. Woo! Been eating organic. I don't like saying organic because when you say you eat organic, people think that you're better than them, you know? Which I do, but I don't want people to think that I think that. I think it's the hard G. It sounds like you're forcing your opinion. I eat organic, you know? I eat organic. Like, stop it. So I like to smooth it out. I made up my own ethnic pronunciation. I say, I eat Or-Janic. There's something smoother about it, right? Because if you're going to be obnoxious, just be fully obnoxious. You know what I mean? I'll go into a Whole Foods, like, excuse me, are these avocados Or-Janic? Like, who the hell is this guy? And what country is he from? I think you mean organic. I'm like, no, I said Or-Janic. Or-Janic. Like, wow, well, I guess the customer's always right. I guess they're Or-Janic. I'm like, yes, she said it, huh? I could even go further. So they have no cholesterol? It's like, who the hell is this guy? Check my ID, I'm an organ donor. What?
I had Or-Janic.
I want you guys to feel how good it feels to say it. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Or-Janic! Yeah! It doesn't feel forced, right? It feels Or-Janic. Or-Janic.
New Year's Eve 2011, my brother and I threw a fucking awesome party at my parents' house, because my parents still live in Toluca Lake and we have an amazing home. So we'd thrown multiple parties at the house plenty of times before, and we had a New Year's Eve party 2 years prior to that. So we were like 2011 going into 2012, we're gonna have an amazing party. So we invited all of our closest friends, but those friends invited their closest friends. And then those friends invited their somewhat close friends. So there were a lot of people in our house, and at one point there had to have been at least 100. But it was cool because it was New Year's Eve and Mom and Dad were at the club, and even though they knew we were throwing a party, they didn't know what kind of party this was turning into. So they got home a little bit after midnight, but before midnight, there were so many people. People were drinking, people were smoking outside. At one point, someone asked me if they could throw glitter at midnight, and I said yes. But then my brother got really mad because he had to vacuum it up. I digress. My parents got home, and my dad went upstairs to go to bed, but my mom stayed downstairs to continue partying with us. Next thing I know, a little time goes by, and I hear my dad screaming at the top of his lungs, chasing a girl and a guy down our staircase. And as he was chasing those people down the staircase, he yells out to the guy and says, "There better not be any cum stains in my carpet." And that's when I figured 2 people were having sex in my parents' bedroom. So, it got awkward, and there was a lot of yelling, and the party was shut down. So I remember getting really upset, and my mom was yelling at this girl, and oh, it was just weird and uncomfortable. So everyone started leaving, and then I started to bawl. I was crying like just profusively, and I remember my mom and my brother were in my brother's bedroom, and I walked into my brother's bedroom and said, "I'm ready to move out." And then I did. I moved into Santa Monica a month later. So New Year's Eve 2011 was the catalyst to me moving out of my parents' house into my own apartment. What a rager.
I majored in math, that's why I do comedy now. Yeah, I applied mathematics with concentration in probability theory, which is like, what are the chances? 100%, it's already happened. That's how probability works. I'm gonna be honest, I keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, America's bad at math. America's ranked 33rd in math in the world. Japan had to count that for us. It's pretty bad. In the world, we're ranked below the mean, but we're above the median, which means that half of you probably won't understand what that means. But neither will half the world, so we good, baby. 33 is not so bad. Math is hard, but it's not going away anytime soon. Even if we got rid of math, the world would just fall apart, and there would be aftermath. You're doing math. Either way. Why do people hate math? Probably because we call it problems, right? That's a horrible name that we tell little children, fresh out of recess, having a good time. Hey kids, that was fun, yeah. Who's ready for problems? Like, no! That's what my parents have. I don't want those problems. That's confusing, even as an adult. Some guy at a bar staring at me, what's your problem, bro? 2 trains are going at the same speed at the same time, trying to figure out when they're getting to the station. That's my problem. What's yours? That's a weird problem, dude. My bad. I don't know how to solve that problem. Put the calculator down, dude. Math isn't a problem. It's like the solution to everything. I think math is a gift from God, okay? And if you don't believe in God, that's totally fine. I mean, you're going to hell. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying that if you don't believe in God and you don't like math, what are you doing? You know, like, what's the point of being an atheist if you're not even smart? You know, you're just taking up space at that point. You're not helping your cause. There is no God. Okay, show me a proof. What's a proof? Get out of here. An atheist who's not good at math is a Scientologist, as far as I'm concerned. That's the only science with no numbers in it. And this one's about me, you know, because people say, Sammy, how'd you major in math and business and then end up in comedy? What's that hidden factor of that? Wow, anybody have a guess? Marijuana. It's marijuana. Marijuana. Math plus business plus pot equals comedy, all right? So, again, we're just using simple subtraction here. Marijuana equals comedy minus math and business, because marijuana makes things really funny, lets your math skills and your business skills, right? Also using subtraction, business equals comedy minus math minus marijuana, which makes sense because to be good at business, you don't necessarily have to be good at math. Most CEOs aren't. They're just really funny people, and they don't smoke weed on the job. Hey, it's Sammy Obeid. I'm running for president in 2036. Huh? Taxes have been the burden of this nation since the founding fathers, and I'll pour out some tea for that. Now, a good tax plan makes people happy, no matter what income they make. And that's why my plan is in 2036, you'll be able to choose your own income tax rate. And it goes a little something like this. This is what divides America. Some people hate taxes. Some people kind of hate taxes. How about you choose what you want to pay and you get the services you deserve? Right? This is what it should be like. So there will be a minimum. There has to be a minimum. 5%. That's the basic package. Like, you want to pay just 5% taxes? Fine. We'll make sure there's a road that goes to your house. It won't be a good road, but it'll be a road. You know what I mean? It'll be there. It's the basics. You call 911, they pick up. You know what I mean? It's the basics. You have a military, they don't protect you per se, but you know, it's 5%. It's a good deal. But you want to pay more, you get more. You want to pay 15%, everybody has to call you sir or ma'am, no matter where you go. And you can urinate in public anytime, anywhere. Free pass. I'll pay for that. Cop sees you like, hey, what are you doing there? I'm a 15%er. Sorry, sir, ma'am. Please proceed. Pee wherever you want. You want to pay 25% taxes? Your kids go straight to college. No high school. You're getting the value back on that one. You want to pay 35% taxes? Go to the zoo. Pick any animal you want. It's yours. You deserve a tiger in your backyard. You want to pay 45% taxes? Once a year, you can punch a DMV employee in the face. Pop! Just get your license. You're a 45%er. You want to pay 55% taxes? The American Dream package? Forget a car, you can have a tank. You can roll around town in a tank. And everybody has to call you daddy, no matter your gender. You ever been called daddy before? You know how good that feels? It feels like 55% of your income. Every time I get a paycheck and there's half missing, I'm like, I better be someone's daddy for this. I better be. It sounds awesome. Imagine getting pulled over by a cop in your tank. You know how fast you were going back there, daddy? I'm sorry, I don't. I didn't go to high school. I went straight to college. Excuse me, I gotta go pee on the road and check on my kangaroo. I'm living the American dream. So don't forget to vote for me in 18 years. Mark your calendar, November 4th, 2036. Because if anyone can fix taxes, it's Uncle Sam. Ah! Oh, I'll tell you what, never catch me candid camera drinking coffee. What are you doing?
Jewish protein shake. You wouldn't know about it.
That's hummus.
Who told you?
Arabs eat hummus too. We invented it?
Everyone knows Israelis invented hummus.
Is that one of your Jewish jokes?
Jews don't joke about hummus.
Let me give you a little history lesson.
You keep that on you?
It's actually my placemat. For thousands of years, my people ate hummus. It was in our blood. Literally, our blood was hummus.
One chick, please.
Did you say chickpeas?
Sure. Can you have baby? Are you fertile?
You traded your wives for hummus?
And we had like 6 others at home. But across the way, we saw the Jews taking our recipe. But theirs was different. They made it whiter.
Weird.
Yeah, so the Jews left the Holy Land and never ate hummus again.
That's not true. We just couldn't find tahini in European supermarkets. That's the real reason we moved back.
I knew it.
Let's settle this once and for all. Jews own hummus. Arabs own Hamas.
Hey! We own both.
All right. We'll take hummus. You can have baba ganoush.
Oh, no one likes baba ganoush. Ah! Ah!
Let's have a hummus fight. The UN will judge.
He's right. Let's go.
Settle this once and for all.
You love settling.
Do you know that guy?
I don't know. I thought you knew him. Weird.
It's Hummus Fight. Toby and Sammy will make their best hummus. Today your hummus will be judged by representatives from around the world.
You know what? Israel wins.
No, you can't call it.
You know what? This whole contest has been rigged from the get-go. There is nothing honest in this contest at all.
Gentlemen, you have 24 hours to gather your feelings. And now, the taste test.
You know, this is great. I love Mexican food.
These hummuses taste exactly the same.
Hey! I can't tell apart. Hey, which one is the Jew?
Me.
Oh, come on.
I prefer this kind of hummus.
That's my hummus.
No, that's my hummus.
Wait, which is which?
I think the winner is the one with the chest hair.
Sorry, gentlemen. If we can't tell you two apart, there's no verdict. However, we do have a solution for joint custody of hummus. Sammy, you get ownership of hummus with roasted red pepper. Toby, you get ownership of hummus with pine nuts. Hummus with lemon will be a neutral area for which Toby will have restricted access. This way, you both win. What do you say?
Take it. You know what? Take the deal. Trust me, I know deals.
Yes, the Greek hummus is the best hummus. The Greek hummus. Greek hummus is for make you a strong man. Even if you are a woman, you eat Greek hummus, it make you a strong man. People say Greek hummus, I say Greek hummus. Knock, knock. Who's there? Greek hummus. Greek hummus who? Greek hummus. It is the best original hummus. Made from Greece. Authentic Greece hummus.
Hummus? That's white people shit.
This is for the Golden Heights. This is for the 6-Day War. 1948.
Get off our land. Our hummus.
Greece. Authentic Greece hummus. It's very greasy. That is a motorcycle. It's very loud. You put hummus on it, it makes it quiet. Greek hummus.
Splitting the bill isn't a social decision, it's a math decision. Did no one here take game theory?
He's mathing again.
When people agree to split the bill evenly, they face a dilemma. Do I order the cheaper dish so the cost goes down, or do I order the more expensive dish because I can get away with paying less for it? It's just a simple n players prisoners dilemma where n equals 5, of course.
Wait, are you Jewish?
Yeah.
I'm Palestinian.
I am Bakir. In my country, Egypt, I am Colonel Bakir Shaloub.
Colonel? Like the old man who sells chicken?
Oh, no, this is not good.
What did you guys do? What happened?
Oh, you look like circus better with mine.
Someone needs a good waxing.
Oh, no, we need some head streamers.
Oh, no, but
Hey everyone, it's your favorite online astrologer, Daniel. Now, if you're still on the fence about who to vote for in the election, I'm gonna help you out. Hillary Clinton, Scorpio. She just might be the first half woman, half scorpion president. And as we know, Scorpios are very secretive, often using private servers for their emails. This is an official chart I found on the internet. As you can see, I'm an Aquarius. We are 30% secretive, which is why I'm sharing this with you. Now, there has been one famous woman Scorpio ruler before Hillary. Her name was Marie Antoinette, Queen of France, wearing a very elegant pantsuit here. Whatever happened to her?
Oh, they cut her head off.
Okay. Donald J. Trump. And you know what the J stands for. Gemini. Yes, classic Gemini with the twin personality. Says one thing, then another. We're going to build a wall. We're not going to build a wall. Grab him by the pussy. No one respects women more than I do. He's two people. So the question is, which one do you want to vote for?
Neither.
Okay. Mike Pence, also a Gemini. So if you vote for the Trump-Pence ticket, you're voting for 4 candidates. Whoa. Gary Aleppo Johnson, Capricorn, guilty. He's super chill, man. Super chill, even when it's not a good idea to be chill. Classic Capricorn president, Richard Nixon, who ran in 1960 and just like Gary, sweat under pressure and lost the election with just one TV appearance. But unlike Gary, he was not high. Jill Stein, Taurus. Independent, stubborn, the bull gets mad when people make fun of her. Fortunately, I'm not a corporate comedian. I'm just an astrologer. Previous Taurus rulers include Hitler, who is also a vegetarian who liked to paint. So get out there and vote for one of these monsters. Now, America was born on the 4th of July, which makes us a Cancer, which is why we voted for Cancer George W. Bush twice. Now, America, being a Cancer, which is a water sign, tends to choose water signs, which is why Hillary picked running mate Tim Kaine, water sign Pisces, aka the fish. Now, we all know the best presidents were born in February, and guess what? So was I. So if you're not sure who to vote for this year, Daniel.